Hi, welcome to Celestial Sisters. I'm Erin.
And I'm Marley.
And this is
Snake Oil.
We're two best friends who are trying out products, talking about hot topics, our own topics, having a great time with each other, coming at you again. If this is your first time stumbling upon us, welcome to the chaos that is us.
We'll be going down the rabbit hole today. We got our own little sign.
Yeah.
So when we go into our different conspiracies and things that we've seen on social media or Discovery Channel or Ancient Aliens or whatever it might be.
You never know what we're going to talk about because sometimes we don't even know. Because
Right.
we have two best friends for over 30 years with both with ADHD. It's a fantastic ride.
We're also going to be doing some, eventually be fishbowl topics, but we have some like riddles and little questions in there. So we might be playing those along with doing our thing.
Yeah. So we have a couple things that we were going to talk about. We have the the eye brightener cream.
Right.
Right, that you got. We both like that one.
I totally like it.
It actually works really, really well. My only thing is I have a lazy eye, or I have this eye right here.
This one doesn't lift. This is just the color.
But that one that lifts.
That's not the one.
Well, I know, but the one that lifts, we have that one, and then
Right.
we have this one, right? This is the pinky, pasty.
So like I have deep set eyes, so it's always got this dark shadow of purple like here all the way down. And no matter what I do, I can still see them, but for some reason like the pink in it like neutralizes it. And so I liked it. I asked my mom, she has got the same thing, and she's like, "Oh, I like that."
It's creamy. It's not super oily, and it blends really well.
It's really
It's soft. It's silky.
soft.
Let me see a little bit of it. Let me show you what it does. It doesn't take very much. You have like this much on your fingertip, and then it just blends right in there.
Yep, and it has a little shimmer to it too, which makes it like when light hits it really show that highlighting effect.
And then you can just
I know it's white on me right now
just
because
take-
I'm not blending it.
it's all nice and shiny.
It's to show you the effect.
Yeah, it just gives it a little shimmer. And then
Definitely.
the other one that you have that we tried was the tightener one. Remember, and I said it kind of made my eye do the Quasimodo
Right,
thing.
but I've been using it and loving it.
Yeah. See, well, I have like one of my eyes when I'm tired, it kind of goes lower than the other one. And literally, you can tell.
You
when
get
I'm
the
tired.
droopy eye.
I get the droopy eye because I have a lazy eye. I've had it since I was a kid. So it kind of made one of my eyes the lazy eye get really big, whereas the other one was just normal. So it worked overtime.
Well, because it was like, we're strengthening that muscle.
Yeah, it works a little overtime. So that was a good one.
Well, you know, don't put it on around that eye.
Yeah, just don't put it all the way up on top. Yeah, because it's supposed to be a brightener.
This one, I'm talking about the
What's there?
tightener, you just don't put it in the eye area, just put it around.
Yeah, I guess.
I know, I tried with the lids too, but mine didn't have the same reaction.
I also have like the darker lids.
So this one just actually is just makeup.
tint. Yeah, it's just because we're getting older, our skin just naturally changes colors. It's called the menopause, okay? Okay. It does weird, funky things to your body.
Oh, I found a lovely melasma spot.
Oh.
Well, I was using the olive oil for my skin. They were going away from the polyphenols of the extra virgin olive oil.
Uh-huh.
Then I started using other things, and it came back.
So you have to start using your product.
I
I don't know why you don't use them. I give you all kinds of olive
I
oil.
know, because we were trying other products out.
True. I've still been using the beef tallow though.
Yeah, the beef tallow is
Beef
really
tallow
good.
and the gold.
Gold. I mean,
I've actually
I am.
started to see a little bit of a difference, you know, when I'm not feeling under the weather with allergies and we've been both not feeling good these last couple days. So
I'm still trying to make it through a fight. That's probably why we were so snippety before our candle. Well, the power went out
the
too.
power went out. We were frustrated. It just was a whole problem, but we got through it and we're stronger for it. So
You want to do the first topic tonight?
I want to go with this one first.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so our first topic is, you know, is your ego a bully? Like, how mean are you to yourself? Like, I know, like, we can stay,
Well, I'll be honest, I might trip or bump into something, which with ADHD is our nature just to we bump things, right? It just
also have
is.
spatial issues.
Exactly. Well, because we're always so moving forward at a speed, we're not looking at what's to the side, right? But, see, my ADHD kicked in.
But
then, of course, I say I trip and fall or do something dumb.
you call yourself a name.
And I'm like, dumbass, or, like, what the hell is wrong with you, dummy? And I'm like, seriously, I am talking shit to myself, devaluing myself because maybe I've heard it so much or just my ego. It's supposed to be motivating, but it was condescending.
I think what some of it is like a lot of us have all been told one thing or another in our lifetime that is negative about us. Like you should be more like this, or you should do like this, or you should be like this. And those things just keep going deeper. And then we repeat those things in our mind so much so that then we start to believe it. And then we start saying,
when you don't hear it, somebody else has got to tell you. And if it's your own voice coming back at you, like, look at you, dumbass, you made a mess, or...
Yeah. Or you making, you put light on things, you make fun of yourself, but really it's detrimental. So is your ego a bully? Mine is definitely a bully.
I'm working on that one.
I am my biggest bully. I am.
Everybody is, because we're our worst critics, of course.
But I'm my own bully. I'm like, nobody has to talk shit to me because I'm talking enough shit to me to fill a boat, okay? To float down a river without a paddle.
So, I mean, the ultimate goal is for you to blend ego and spirit, right? To combine, because it's essentially the duality of light and dark, okay? You've got the physical and you've got the spiritual. And that's a struggle for every single person, because it's hard to like merge those things and be like, I have to totally be positive to lift myself up and support myself and everything. But the negative stuff is so much easier to believe than the positive to reinforce it.
And I was having this conversation with a teenager in my life. And he, he was kind of saying like he felt, bad about himself and felt like he was not living up to expectations. And I had to remind him that, like, bro, like 5 years ago, you still believed in Santa.
Exactly.
And you still believed in that magic of the world. Like, you only learned how to talk when you were like 5, like real full sentences and understanding. I was like, when you were that age, you didn't know the difference between anger and sadness. You just cried, or you just
were in pain or alone, or you wanted your mom or dad.
As an adult, we have a hard time vocalizing how we feel, and there's always self-doubt, and there's always that ego inside of you,
and that trust issue. Like, if I am my authentic self and say this, am I going to get judged? And is my own criticism worse of myself than anybody else giving to me?
Trying to predict what everybody else is going to say, what everybody else is going to do.
Like, they're going to call you crazy. They're going to say, don't do it.
They surprise you and they don't. That's the fun part.
Yeah, and then you're like, ooh.
And you're like, I just had this whole situation pegged all wrong.
It's like a bias you've already set up, and as we learned from a birthday party and things like that.
But, there is a difference between ego of, like, saying, like, I'm the best. That's a different kind of ego. The ego that we're talking about is that little voice inside your head that makes you...
It's your person. It's who you are. Like, Marley is my ego, but my ultimate self is spirit. And I don't necessarily know if I go by that name, but it's the merging of your...
Right.
Well, that's what I feel like. My persona is my ego.
Everybody puts on a different persona every time they wake up and to do whatever they're doing. They have to put on a persona to fit the part, right? So the only person that knows your true self is you, because you're the only, like, when you're alone, you're not putting on any mirrors.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Marley is that.
Right. So
you put on the Marley clothes and the Marley show, and then
my ego is definitely my biggest bully.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. But that was one thing I really wanted to hit on, because, like, just hearing so many people talk so negative about themselves, and it's like, that's you. That's you're beating yourself up. That's
exactly.
your ego.
You're reinforcing that behavior, and you're having those experiences by telling yourself that.
I'm amazing. I say it out loud all the time.
I do too.
I'm amazing. I am I'm great, just because I am who I am. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm not, because
I like me. I look in the mirror and I'm like, you know what? That's enough makeup. You're as beautiful as you can get. You know what I mean? Why not?
Just roll with it.
And then I'm just like,
lift yourself
you're
up.
ingenious, you're cooperative, you're a great friend, you love to have adventure, and
You give with all of your heart.
yeah, I give with all of my heart, you know, and I go down these things like I'm a great problem solver and I think outside the box.
But then on those days where you're just like, oh, nobody loves me and everybody hates me, you got to remind yourself of
Exactly.
those things. Write them down on a mirror, write them down on a board, write them down somewhere where you can see them every single day that says, I am amazing, so we get over this ego bully.
Well, and the other thing is thanking your body and yourself. You're like, I thank myself. I'm like, hey, body, you've not done so bad carrying me all these years. You know, I gotta thank you.
I wish I could say the same thing.
I know.
My body has.
My mind.
Next week we're going to be delayed in filming
a little bit.
Just a procedure, and then a little bit more of a delay.
Oh yeah, 'cause Sunday night you won't be able to.
No, I will. Just won't. Yeah. But Monday I won't be able to because
Well, we would do it Tuesday anyways.
my throat might be a little hoarse.
Oh, that's true.
But we'll see how that goes. But then in May, we'll be doing it from the comfort of my house because I will not be able to get up and move around as much. So I will be a hot mess.
Oh, we'll be using your little couch by the window and hanging our banner.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Having some.
That way we're just like.
Much
I thought
needed
about that
and
when we're
waited on,
sitting in the living room.
I'm a clumsy person, so of course it happened. An injury that I had flying off of a scooter is finally getting fixed. So yay! Then
The scooter's fine, by the way.
Yeah, the scooter's just fine. Like the scooter's okay.
Just in case you were wondering.
But I've also been told that I'm not allowed on wheels anymore because then I'll become one of your fossils.
True. Okay, over to mine. This is my wacky conspiracy.
Like I did that, huh?
Yeah. I've been putting it out there. I even put it out to my mental health doctor, and she went, that's something to really think about. And I said, you know, we have like Sinclair, and we're like fossil fuels. We're putting dinosaurs in our tank, all this oil and fossil fuels. Yet, when do we find human fossils if we've been around this long? Don't you think we might be putting us in the tanks and not the dinosaurs? Since we find the dinosaur bones, they seem to be denser and stronger and last a lot longer, yet we break down so quickly. Are we cannibals for driving on ourselves?
Because they go and they dig. When they do archaeology work, they can dig down super
There's
deep.
not that many primate jump. We had to like break down and be in our vehicles. That's my theory.
It's not a bad theory. I mean, like, it's not that far-fetched.
I mean, they weren't embalming people and doing that kind of stuff. They were
putting people straight into the ground.
Right.
Or burning them.
Right. And ash and everything. Ashes to ashes, earth to earth, you know.
So. And to put the ash back in there just has to break down somehow.
Exactly. It just reinforces the soil.
Because, we're going by dinosaur standards. They were burned and fossilized, right? Like, they were crisped.
And we found some, but they don't find, if there's all these civilizations that have been wiped out, where are the bodies?
Yeah. You know what I heard? I did hear the other day.
My rabbit hole.
Yeah. You know what I heard the other day though? That most T-Rexes, and there's so many different kind of Rexes.
Oh, and different dinosaurs in that family.
But that most of them were found in like the North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana area.
A lot of dinosaurs in this area.
And not really too far
from us.
I mean,
we have dinosaur rock and different things. We have dinosaurs over there in our area growing up too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like actual.
I still think those are the sleeping giant hills. I always say that there's giants in those hills.
I bet you if you do,
they might be dead, and you bet you find giants.
Giants or dragons.
Oh yeah,
because dragons and dinosaurs. Okay, dragons and dinosaurs. If dragons were only
until they were taken out, they were considered till 1940, even in the encyclopedia and dictionary, as rare, not mythical.
Not mythical. It wasn't only until like the 1930s that they went into mythical.
Right. But they still said rare.
Right.
Till the 40s.
Till the 40s. That's what it was. The 40s. And they've also they've done some different things that show like mountaintops and different aerial views of the world and different
where you
regions.
Can see that there's
actually see like
calcified dragons and they're fossilized.
Fossilized
dragons.
I
watched the thing. It was amazing. Like the Grand Canyon and all that area.
Yeah. It was all
Well, basically, we probably have because we're in the Ring of Fire.
Yeah,
you know?
and the dinosaurs we've touched on this. Dinosaurs actually a lot more of them had feathers than. That's where we get our chickens.
And the scaly ones that flew were dragons, not dinosaurs.
But the
T-Rex having the small arms makes no sense,
no,
right?
it's like a chicken.
Because it couldn't feed. But if they're wings,
But I
it
mean, if everything was
explains.
super big, like because they even said that trees they can't even.
The
gauge,
oxygen and everything was higher.
Yeah.
You know?
But they can't even gauge how big the trees were because they're beyond our measurement. Right
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everything was larger.
So I mean, hey.
But do you believe that?
Maybe T-Rexes were the smallest, like were just small, like the chickens of the world.
They have DNA from the T-Rex, exactly.
Which you find in portobello mushrooms, by the way. You can find chicken DNA in portobello mushrooms
Because they're chicken poo-poo?
they use chicken feathers as part of their mulching process. So they, because mushrooms are so porous, and they
Oh, wow.
they have
They'll take it. That's crazy.
yeah. There you go, my rabbit hole.
Well-
Just like figs, like a lot of people don't know, figs have the wasps that grow like burrow into them and.
How about,
eggs and
you made me
dyes.
forget my thing. How about eggplant? Do you know that nicotine naturally occurs in there? And that way, it's popular in a lot of countries where there's a lot more heavy cigarette. And it's like maybe they're predisposed to it because of the nicotine. That it is a trace amount. You'd have to eat like 10 pounds of eggplant to equal like a cigarette. But if you're having it regular in your diet, aren't you already susceptible to wanting to smoke?
Well, not only that, but there's nicotine in a lot of different foods. There's nicotine in
A lot of nightshade stuff.
Nightshade stuff, yeah. Also, speaking of that, like we were talking about the food having nicotine, but also like THCV. THCV is a naturally occurring cannabinoid that you can find in marijuana,
But you can also find another thing.
and it's not the psychoactive. Like, so you find it in like lemon peel, and that actually helps give you energy and stimulates your metabolism. So like,
Well, it's
there's
just like
things
they're
that are
finding
naturally
DMT
occurring.
naturally is occurring in certain things as well. That is not the ayahuasca that's going to make you trip, but it's the thing that's going to help you. Your receptors really connect.
Yeah. I just think that I think it's a very interesting. You're finding all these things that. I'm allergic to a lot of things that are man-made. So finding things that have a natural source that aren't going to cause me to have terrible reactions, like eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is just.
I can't use that. I have to look. I'm like, it's straight menthol. We're okay.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't like it, but if I need some Vicks or something, I gotta make sure there's no eucalyptus or any like.
But I didn't realize
CBD
how
bombs.
bad I didn't realize that, like when I was using lozenges, and for the longest time I could never understand why the lozenges would work but make my throat itch, make me go like that every time,
Like kernels.
and it'd be like, it actually has eucalyptus oil in it, so I was slowly poisoning myself every time I had one, and so now I have to be. But now that I've gotten older and my allergies have gotten worse, like the area, there's tons of eucalyptus populating.
It's
right
not
now.
good finding out you're allergic to zinc either.
Yeah, no, zinc is.
I am allergic to zinc.
Well, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good, yeah.
And nice, and you have a real
And serious
Bad
note,
bitch,
yeah. I had one at a time. When I was younger, I was dating somebody, and around that time, I'm not being bad by saying there was some herbal ecstasy going around, and I wasn't chicken shit about trying some real stuff. So tried that, but I didn't look at the ingredients. And it had niacin, and then I turned into this lobster, and I stripped off my clothes, but not for the reasons you
Not
would
for
think.
the right reasons.
Like
You're
I was dying, like it
burning
was the
and
worst
itching.
hot flash ever, and so not sexy, and just killed the vibe. And that's all I'm gonna say on that one. But that was a real realization that was a serious
real
allergy.
Yeah. But we've known you've had that allergy for a long time. Because you can't have.
Because some people get like a little flushing or this or that. We're not talking swelling lobster.
We're just like you and pineapple. You and your allergy to pineapple.
Oh, but it'll eat me alive,
worse.
like sores. Like it just I can't touch it. The
It's
gas
become so
even
much-
bugs it.
It's become so much worse as you've gotten older.
I mean, had I kept poisoning myself, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But
But you didn't really, I mean, you knew, but you didn't know.
No, I thought if it was cooked and stuff, I was fine. I thought it was just the fresh stuff.
No.
Just even the juice.
Just,
It's
yeah.
not that stupid enzyme thing that everybody thinks it is. Nope, it's literally
The
pineapple.
juice, yeah, the actual pineapple. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like me and tomatoes.
Yeah, like
Tomatoes.
It's not.
It's like having pizza is delicious in the moment, but it gives me little prickles all over the inside of my mouth if I have tomato sauce.
Dude, I get the worst. I'll get blisters
And then I get rashes
peeling and yeah. Mine always, my rash area always for some reason is just like here and here, and then I'll get it up here.
Oh, I get it. You've seen
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I get it on my neck.
But everybody's got their
arms,
zones that get mostly.
chest,
Oh, my
face.
legs get it.
Your legs get it. Wait, I don't get it on my legs. I always get allergic reactions on my torso or my face.
Yeah.
My face is usually the first thing.
But at the same time, I don't be like. I mean, I use some sensitive stuff like skin stuff, but I don't protect.
Yeah, which is crazy that we test products out all the time.
Right.
But I think it's because of the fact that you couldn't, like, it's hard to find products that don't give you a reaction.
And we've been good so far.
We've been good so far.
The one that was really kind of burned a little.
Well, that and the one you did with the bay leaf and the...
It was too strong. I think I needed to dilute the oil down.
Yeah, because you did that one with the bay leaf, and I think it's just the bay leaf itself.
It was from your aunt's fresh bay leaves.
Well, I'm saying I think it's bay leaf itself. I think it's different when you're cooking with it than when
Yeah.
you're rubbing it on.
True.
Because you're using the oils from it when you're rubbing it on.
I mean,
You're
usually
extracting
for
it.
like broken blood vessels, they usually say like, I'd like a wormwood type soap or something like that, not
Yeah, wormwood is...
mugwort or something. I don't know what it is.
Probably wormwood and sandalwood.
Something. It was a soap.
You know me and...
Again, my snake oils.
Yeah. This is why we have the show, right? Because this girl right here will try everything.
Oh, I have like an eyebrow thing, but you gotta push it in there and then brush it on, but it looks like a burnt eyebrow. It's really big, so you have to like tilt it and kind of be gentle. So I'm on the fence about sharing that one.
Well, no,
I mean, it looked nice, but it just was a technique.
But that's the one you do share, because then, like, if it doesn't work the way you thought it was going to...
Well, because you gotta like cook it down a bunch of times, and like the first shot is like, it tells you to tap on
Remember,
the
I
back.
had the same kind, and I told you, I was like, it's a bitch to work, because you gotta get it just right, and then you gotta, like...
You get like 3 good stamps and taps, and then you gotta go back in there.
Because, yeah, I have very light eyebrows, so I have to do something with my eyebrows all the time.
I did not use it today, sorry, but I will let you guys know and use it for a few days and see if it becomes part of my routine.
Yeah.
The color is not bad.
I'm interested. I'm following that.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how you like it. Because I know my experience was like...
Well, I've tried the stain peel off stuff, and that was not good. That just
horrible.
stained like wine red my skin underneath it, like hot pink. You
It
know,
you look like you almost don't look like you had a sunburn going on underneath it.
yeah, and then it was like, no.
I can't even see, like, I can't even see my eyebrows to even...
This is just...
Even with my glasses on, it's
That's
terrible.
just pencil today. I was like, meh.
Yeah.
That's so they don't blend it, and I actually have eyebrows on camera because they're so light normally.
Yeah. So remember that when you're watching, to like and subscribe, like hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, tell us what you're thinking about, what you think about her fossil fuel conspiracy, dragons and dinosaurs. Tell us what you think about if your ego is your bully, because I know mine is my
Drop
bully.
a poll
Like,
in there so
yeah.
that way, we'll see if you're on the fence about the dragons thing. I just want to point out that dragons are in the zodiac, not dinosaurs.
Fact.
But
I was the dragon.
Another
so-
weird conspiracy just to think about is, if pandas are real, why aren't they part of the zodiac if they're so part of the culture? But yet a dragon's on there.
So okay, so we're
Genetically
gonna
made.
I'm gonna do this one. It's a which would you choose little card here. We're just gonna play this little game. Which would you choose? Only caviar for breakfast for the rest of your life, or only jelly-filled donuts for dinner for the rest of your life?
Jelly-filled donuts!
Like,
I would never eat caviar. I am not a...
donuts!
Yeah.
She had this whole thing for donuts, even though she didn't eat them. She had to have everything donuts.
Wait, which would you choose?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, this is a good one. I love this one. Which would you rather be fluent in every language or the ability to talk to plants and animals?
Fluent in every language.
Damn it! That's the one I want too. That's my dream.
I'm like,
I can talk to plants and animals all day long. Whatever.
I could. They all have a feeling. So.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
Okay. Which would you choose? You can never eat again, or you can never sleep again. I would never eat again because I would need my sleep. I'm cranky without my sleep. I could drink water. They didn't say you couldn't take like supplements.
True. And some try to feed you. Never eat again. Yeah. I like my
sleep.
sleep.
I'm like, you without sleep?
But
girl, you get cranky when you have enough sleep.
Which would you choose? On a long plane ride, your seat partner snores the whole trip.
I've had that.
But we haven't really got it. Or on a long plane ride, your seat partner is crying baby.
I'll take crying baby.
Really?
Yeah, because I can tune those out. I had so many of them, I could tune it out.
Snores easy for me. I grew up. I'm a snorer, and my dad was a super snorer.
It's hard for me to sleep when there's someone snoring.
I mean, I don't like to, but I just try to go to sleep before the snore, and then they gotta hear me.
Now, this one goes exactly to what we were talking about tonight.
Ooh.
You ready for it?
Yep.
You ready for it? Which would you choose? You are granted the power to make unicorns real, or you're granted the power to make dragons real.
Dragons already are real. I'll take unicorns.
You know what?
I think they both are. Just not in our dimension.
I think, yeah, true. I think so too. Magic is real. So I think I would rather have unicorns though, because dragons can be kind of dangerous with
They're
their fire.
primordial protectors. They're one of the first beings.
But unicorns are,
I know.
Majestic and
I wouldn't get it because
serene.
Your stepchild would eat it.
No, but it has to be like it has to poop jelly beans.
No, it has to taste like strawberry cake. It throws up like rainbow Skittles. It had all these different levels.
Just different
but
levels.
she's like, I want to eat a unicorn.
We need to have a baby and a daddy and a
mommy, so that way
they keep making unicorns.
Yeah.
And eat one.
So that's why I would not pick that, because that would be horrific for me to see them eat a baby unicorn.
No.
Fair?
Fair.
I don't know if this is torture or good. Would you rather spend the day with William Shakespeare or spend the day with Jane Austen?
I think it would be good, but I would have a hard time choosing.
I mean, I love both of them, but at the same time, would you understand I think I'd take Jane Austen.
I was going to say, I want to see Jane Austen. Like that.
Little Women and stuff, Emma and all that, yeah.
So everyone, we're getting ready, like one last question.
Okay.
One last question, and then I'm going to put mine back in there. But here's the last one, and I think you're going to like this one. So which would you choose? Would you choose you can receive text messages but not send them? Or you can send text messages but not receive them? Not get them.
I'd rather receive them than send them and not know if they're getting responded to.
Yeah, you hate being left unread.
Exactly.
So there you go. See, a lot of people hate being left unread.
Would you rather be reincarnated as a hummingbird or reincarnated as a panda bear? That goes into my topic.
I'd rather do hummingbird.
Easy.
Pandas have a hard enough time just surviving.
Yeah.
They're too dumb to even.
The only animal.
They're too dumb to even.
It's got to be genetically made that eats a fibrous thing that has no value and no nutritional, and
it survives.
Yeah,
because they're too dumb to get anything else. I think they're cute. I think they're adorable.
Absolutely, they're just a commodity to trade amongst countries. I watched the thing. I'm sorry, it's a conspiracy, but I want to go down that rabbit hole because. No, I'm just saying another time.
Yeah, I think that tonight, I think we've gone down a couple rabbit holes for everyone to ponder on.
But that'll be one for later times.
That'll be one maybe on Sunday. Maybe we can talk about that one because
do a little more research and dig in.
I'm down for the panda conspiracy. So let's go.
Why is the red panda called a red panda when it's more like a freaking raccoon?
Right?
Yeah. Just another question.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you,
tonight.
guys.
We hope you have a great rest of your week.
Like, follow, subscribe.
And remember, be a good human. That's
Be
all
a
it
good
takes.
human.
That's all it takes.
We
Be a
love
good
you.
human. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.